Hey, what's going on everyone? So today we're going to be going over the girl that has divided the Chainsaw Man community and caused our boy Denji to once again be a grade A simp. A girl whose name hasn't even been revealed but has been branded by the community as Sally, better known as SA-chan. And this is going to be a video going over everything we know about this character and a couple of theories from the Chainsaw Man community for just who this crazy girl could be. Okay, so SA-chan was actually introduced to Denji by Yoshida in chapter 136, when the two of them were ditching school to go to the movie theater to watch some movies. And straight away, out of all the girls and female devils that Denji has interacted with, Sally is by far the most aggressive and openly forward to having an interest in Denji in a sexual way that Denji has encountered. Sally also appears to be a combination of many of the girls that Denji has had an interest in throughout the series, for appearance being heavily resembling Asumi Taka, to where she flirts being reminiscent of Reize, and the aggressiveness of Himeno, and being as seductive and as inhuman as Makima. And honestly, what is unsettling about her is just how inhuman she actually is or seems to act. Because throughout the chapters that she's been featured in, she doesn't blush, especially when she and Denji were having an intimate moment together. I mean, she just maintains this creepy grin on her face and stares directly in Denji's soul. And even after she witnesses Denji fight over 15 people with nothing but a baseball bat and his bare hands, and sees him cut up with blood on his clothes, instead of showing concern for Denji or even fear for the situation, she instead decides to fight against Denji and shows no fear at the prospect of fighting someone who not only took on that many people and won, but also looks like they're on the brink of a mental breakdown. The only time we see her display any other emotions besides this was when she was singing a heavy rock song written by Raging Hormones that I'll touch over later in this video because it is actually pretty much important, and when she laughs at Denji for belittling himself for this prospect of being able to sleep with her, displaying this sadistic grin and a dark look in her eyes. So it's pretty clear to me that if this high school girl isn't a devil, she clearly has more than a few screws loose in her. Okay, so now that information's been covered, we're gonna go into a few theories of who this girl could actually be. Now, what will be the most unsettling theory is that she's just a human devil hunter from Yoshida's organization who's been given the mission to manipulate Denji and to keep him from acting out and transforming into Chainsaw Man again. And the reason why I say this is the most unsettling is in part 1, during the International Assassins arc when Yoshida was tasked as being a part of the team to protect Denji from the devil hunters who were after his heart, Yoshida and Kishibe have an interesting conversation where Yoshida at the time realized that Makima's true motives weren't to actually protect Denji, and comments that the team assigned to protect him were third rate at best, himself included, with Kishibe commenting that if he's third rate, then that makes him 4th tier. And we all know how strong Kishibe is despite his age. So for Kishibe to openly acknowledge Yoshida's superiority to him, but Yoshida saying that he's still weak in comparison, this could be Yoshida referencing the fact that he knows the devil hunters even stronger and crazier than he is. Possibly the same devil hunters he's associated with due to the organization that he's a part of. Which is saying a lot considering Yoshida was confident that he could take on one of the 4 horsemen, the same 4 horsemen that fought against Pochita in his armor form, and when Yoshida was threatened by a much more experienced Denji, the same Denji who managed to outsmart Makima, someone even Yoshida avoided a confrontation with, he just grins at him. So potentially power scaling wise, and keep in mind I'm no power scaler, this girl could be even stronger and more dangerous than Yoshida is. Another interesting theory a Redditor from the Chainsaw Man Reddit page pointed out in what Sally's role could be in the story and just who she is she could be the Chainsaw Man's version of the Whore of Babylon. If you haven't read the Bible, the Whore of Babylon is a figure featured in the Book of Revelations, the final book in the New Testament, which explains the end of time. Now, obviously, like any religious figure, there are many interpretations of just what this figure could be, which if I were to cover that would be a video of its own. But in short, it's generally agreed upon that the Whore of Babylon is the Queen of Harlots, or in modern English, the Queen of Thoughts. A being that views sex and intimate relationships as nothing more than mere transactions and basks in sin. A being so seductive that she's able to sway and seduce people to act in ways that would make them destroy themselves and corrupt their very souls. Be it through lust, greed, violence, etc. You kind of get the point now. She's just plain evil. With this being said, if this girl doesn't have a devil contract that allowed her to seduce these men in some way to fight against Denji, and it turns out that she is indeed a devil of some kind, it will explain why she acts so seductive and sadistic as she does, and why she displays such little human emotion, since for her, it's just how she naturally acts. And if this girl is indeed a devil, if I had to guess for which devil it could be, she could be the snake devil. After all, snakes in the Bible are associated with lust, but also the corruption of humanity. Or she could be the SA devil. After all, the song that she shows us sing in chapter 137 is a song that is actually, well, about SA, with the context being that the men who jumped Denji and came after him were trying to assault him, and had he lost, well, he would have been assaulted by all of them. Now, as for why she may want to corrupt Denji, it may have something to do with breaking his contract with Pochita in a way where it would separate them into two different beings. And it's very likely that Yoshida was actually instructed how to do this by the Famine Devil, given that we don't actually know what the two of them talked about when they were in the cafe when the Falling Devil appeared and started destroying everything. So it's very likely that through the Famine Devil, through Yoshida was the one who instructed this girl how to break Denji's mental fortitude in order to break the contract in a way that would separate Denji and Pochita into two different beings. But that was everything we know about Sally and a couple theories about this character and her purpose in the story. If you enjoyed this video, please do be sure to leave a like. And with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.